Hi, my loves. Welcome back. I'm Coach Naz, and in today's video, I wanted to talk about awakening and spirituality. And the reason why I wanted to speak about this is because majority of us have the wrong notion about awakening because we talk about it so often these days about, the dark night of the soul and awakening, and it's all great and fun, but awakening is actually a very lonely, a lonely path. It feels like you're losing people in your life. It feels like you're no longer who you used to be. So you know, it's about recognizing that awakening and spirituality, these aren't fun, okay? At least at the very beginning, because you're transitioning from somebody who is maybe asleep, maybe following the crowd like sheep. And then suddenly now you've been through an experience that has made you see. It's like once you see, you can unsee, right? People that are awake, they can't go back to sleeping. So you have to start thinking and living a very different life than you used to. And a lot of people can be, your family, your friends, they can be judgmental. Like, what happened to you used to be so fun, like used to go out all the time, or whatever, things you used to do. They're going to compare you to that version, but they don't know that that version was actually feeling very, meaningless. You were feeling very sad and lonely deep down inside. They don't know that. They just see the exterior of you laughing and having a good time, but they don't know what has really gone deep down inside. So this is for us to understand is that, I just want everybody to know that spirituality and awakening is a very lonely path. And I think, when I went through I think I've been through a couple different awakenings, but the most difficult awakening that I've ever had was going through, making a decision to get a divorce. Like that, nothing woke me up faster than that decision. So, after I went through that, after I started meditating and I started getting these messages and I was getting guided, and I went through all these like things that I can't explain on camera. Like it's not going to resonate with you. I think a lot of us, hear stories about like, oh, this happened and that happened, but it's like you don't get it until you go through it. When you go through it, you're like, oh shit, like this is what people are talking about. And I mean, to be quite frank, the only reason I went through it is because I ignored a lot of things. I ignored my voice. I ignored my purpose. I ignored, my health. I ignored a lot of things for me to be down in the dumps, and really figure my way out. And I think that, in order to find yourself, you have to awaken to not only a new life, but a new mindset. The way you think about things is so different. I no longer sit here and think about what she's doing, what he's doing over there. I no longer live small. Like my dreams are so much bigger. And, my dreams were super big when I was younger because I was a little bit naive, right? And then I think as you go through life, when you become like 25, 26, 27, and you're just like partying and you're having a good time. And then suddenly, I think this is what happens, a shift that happens to a lot of men and women when they hit 30. And they're like, wait, am I still doing the same job as I was when I was 22? Like I'm still living the same life. I'm still drinking the same way. I'm still smoking weed. I'm still doing all these things that I did when I was 22. And then you look at people around you that are your age and they have, they're millionaires, or they have these fancy cars, or they're in relationships, or they're married, or they become a monk, or whatever it is. You see people growing, changing, evolving around you. And that is when you have like a little bit of a shift that like, shit, what am I doing? Like I'm doing the same thing I was, doing a couple years back, and I need to grow up. And that's honestly what happened. Well, I think I grew up like a little bit too fast, but that's what happens to a lot of people when after 30, because then you realize, oh my God, next decade I'm going to be 40. So I better do something meaningful in my life. And I do see a lot of people that are in their 20s, 30s. They're just having a good time. And there's nothing wrong with having a good time. But there also needs to be some sort of a goal set in place where you want to head off to. What is your vision in life? I think without that, you're heading for really not the best life, to be quite frank. I think when you don't have a vision, when you don't know where you're going, you don't know the kind of relationship you want, you don't know how you want to be loved, like you don't ask yourself these questions and you think like, I'm just going to go with the flow, which is my favorite. It's not really my favorite. I'm just joking. With the flow, I'm just going to like, wherever the universe guides me, do. And I think that people have a wrong notion about guidance and about going with the flow. When I talk about going with the flow, what I mean is that I have a goal set in place. I have an intention. I'm working on myself. And if something doesn't go my way, I kind of say, okay, well, I'm being guided to a different direction. That's how I see it. But majority of the people think that if I just don't have any goals, I don't set anything, and I have no intentions in place, I don't have a vision in my life, I don't know where I'm going, I'm just going to go with the flow and see what happens. This is where the disaster starts happening, okay? I mean, it's not going to happen now. It's going to happen a couple of years down the line, because in life, this is one thing I learned, and I remember when I was in my 20s, I hated the word goals. I hated it because I was like, I don't want goals. I just want to go with the flow. I swear, this was me. And after, when I went through my awakening and I was more, what would you call it? I was just more aware of how you're meant to get things. You're meant to actually work for things. You can't just suddenly be a famous YouTuber. You can't just suddenly be an actress. You have to work towards it. And that is something that I personally, and a lot of us these days, are missing. We think, we try to hack our way through life. Oh my God, I just spit off. We just try to find shortcuts. But that is the way to imprisoning yourself, right? Because you're doing a shortcut, but you're not getting the feeling that you would if you actually took the time and you took the right steps and you allowed yourself to fail. You allowed yourself to make mistakes instead of just hacking, doing a little bit of this, doing a little bit of that, and getting a little bit of success and thinking like that's what life is about, but it's really not. So this was my little spiel I wanted to talk about, to just let you guys know, like, awakening, all this kind of stuff that we talk about, it's not fun. It's actually very difficult to go through, and you lose a lot of your friends. You lose a lot of the things you thought were cool, and you no longer look at it the same way. You look at it like, oh my God, why did I do all that? Or why did I put so much makeup on? You look at it like that. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I hope you guys are having an amazing, amazing day. I just want to again say thank you so much for all the love, all the support, even the haters. Love you all, sending you lots of blessings and love, and I'll see you guys in my next video.